Okay, so how did the thing with signing to Empire actually work out? Like, did you decided to leave that behind at a certain point, or what?
No, I'm still with Empire.
Oh,
I'm still
okay.
with Empire to this day. They're I mean, I love them. I've been there since like the beginning, since when I started first getting a little momentum. They've been there with me, so I'm a very loyal person. So if I like someone or something, even if it hinders my career or something, if it's stupid from a business perspective, like I'll stick with it. So
Mm,
I don't think I see myself leaving Empire. So
definitely. That's
yeah.
dope. Okay, but have you ever had like other offers or like people who kind of try to sell you a dream that you could be bigger than they've been able to make you?
Yeah, yeah, a few from like Sony.
Really?
There's a couple other ones that my manager told me to, but they had also like wanted to wait until the deal was over with Empire, and I just keep like doing options, if
Mm,
you know what options are.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I keep entering option deals, so it's not
definitely.
happening.
So, okay, did having that song Waste wait, so were you the only person who was involved in making that song, or was there anybody else involved creatively?
Besides the producer, yeah.
It
It
was
was just one producer, which was Red Mosque, and then my producer Rocky that did the drum fill
mhm.
before the chorus.
So, like, having a ridiculously successful song like that, how did that, kinda change the way that you viewed music? Like, just having something that big, it must have been kinda overwhelming.
Dude, yeah, it was like at first I didn't know what was going on. Like I started getting paychecks that were like bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, holy shit, like where is this coming from? And then I go into the Spotify for artist shit and I see Waste going from 5,000 streams a day to it was like 250. By the time
Mhm.
I noticed it was like going viral, it was at 250,000 streams a day. And then it hit, I think, a million streams in one day at one point. And I was like, oh shit, like that's a lot of money.
Mhm.
But it honestly it changed my perspective. Not really, but it made me be able to do what I wanted to do in music because
Mhm.
now I don't have to be like, oh shit, I hope this song blows up so I can pay the rent next month or I can pay my bills next month. Now I have a steady form of income, so I don't have to worry about the types of music that I make. I can just put out whatever I want
Mhm.
and not worry about it doing good or not.
Right.
So
I mean, that song to me kinda reminded me of, when X made "Sad," and it was kinda like, "Oh, alright, like, he's a SoundCloud rapper, but he just made a song that through just, like, good songwriting and a nice melody
yeah.
was able to have" I remember the thing that made us really, like, our jaws just dropped was when Kylie Jenner put it on her Snapchat story, and we were all just like, "What the f," like, couldn't believe that somebody from that world had just got the attention of the Kardashians, but
Yeah.
it was like, she doesn't know who this dude is. She doesn't understand. It's just like a purely great song, which is like,
Yeah.
that's one thing I worry about sometimes when I look at like, a lot of the artists, whether it's drill rappers or whatever, is that it's like they're awesome, they're creative, but their creativity isn't like open minded enough that they could make a song that would be able to have that kind of
Mhm.
reach. Like I don't know. Like when you made that song, like do you find yourself trying to sort of like recapture that?
I did for a second, which kind of hindered me. I made like a predominantly grunge album right after that.
Mm,
And obviously it didn't sound the same because I was like trying to recapture the moment. But now I've learned to just like that was a time. Now just make whatever you want to make because the way that happened was I was just depressed as f- in the studio one day,
mm,
and my homie sent me a riff and I just like threw it on and I did whatever I did on the mic in like 30 minutes. And then at first I was like, damn, this shit's ass. Like I'm not dropping this. And then my manager came in and he was like, yo, this shit gave me goosebumps. And I was like, dude, you're gay. Like, why would you say that to me? And he was like, no, like literal goosebumps. And he had like actual goosebumps. And then from that point on, everyone that I showed it to had like actual goosebumps when I showed it to them. And I was like, damn, so I
wow.
should drop it.
Yeah,
And
that's a big
then
cosign.
yeah, Goosebumps, shout out
Like, literally
Goosebumps.
something you can't control at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So then I dropped it and then it just went insane. It dropped on the album, so I didn't, like, do any special promo for it, but
Mm,
yeah, it went insane.
definitely. But so did that like, I don't know, it's just like, is there part of you that kind of changed your view of what music was at that point, where you thought maybe like, have you ever thought about being like a songwriter or like just getting involved, or like, or have you even thought about kind of leaving rap to the side to like try different styles, like more so? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I definitely like have thought about like going into like producing and shit like that. I definitely I help my friends write sometimes, like
mm,
in different genres, like in pop punk and like pop and rap, like every genre that I can think of. So I've thought about going into songwriting and producing, but it just takes too much time out of like my own career. So
yeah.
I'm trying to like solely focus on my career, and then once I make it to where I want to be, then that's when I'll branch off and start doing shit for other people
What do
like
you think
that.
is the most beneficial thing for you? Is it like touring, or is it just staying put and focusing on music?
In my opinion, at the moment, I think staying put and making music, but that's just because like I have really bad social anxiety. So when
Mm,
I'm like out and about, I can't think of anything else except for like that one thing that I'm doing.
mm,
So when I'm on tour, I barely make any music.
really?
So and without music, there's no tour.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, touring is picking up now. I just started doing my own like headlining tours like last year, I think. So that's starting to pick up. So soon, I mean, hopefully touring will be better than actually just like making music.
Do you think at this point in your life, would you rather headline a tour, or would you rather be on a tour with bigger artists and maybe you're like third or fourth down the bill?
Um, honestly, it depends. It depends. It depends like how big the tour is. Like if it's like arenas or stadiums, then it's
Yeah.
like obviously like I would want to experience that because I haven't experienced that before.
Yeah.
But but as far as like energy and feeling like I'm wanted, I think my own headlining tour. I think I enjoy those a lot, even if they're like 500 cap, 1,000 cap. Like those are super fun, especially like
Definitely.
the little sweat boxes.
Mm.
Those are nice.
Definitely. What do you think of, like, we kind of talked about this before, but what do you think of the underground's strength at this point? Because like a lot of times people talk about how rap is kind of like in a depression, and a
Mhm.
lot of times they're kind of talking more about like mainstream rap and shit like that. But do you feel like, do you see any of that effect on the underground scene?
No, I don't think so. I think the underground is in like their own little world, their
Mm,
own little bubble. Like no one's worried about what's going on in the mainstream media because like it's always been like the underground against everyone else
mm,
because the mainstream doesn't like the underground obviously, because they just think it's corny, they think it's
mm.
edgy, until everyone's listening to it, then
Yeah,
they're
until
on
they
it.
find an artist that could break through and have a huge fan base,
Exactly,
and then all of a
like
sudden they're
X.
interested. Yeah.
Yeah, like X that happened. But yeah, it's always been the underground versus the mainstream. So it's I feel like that strengthens the underground fan base because it's like it's something different and people feel like they want to get it mainstream. They want people to know like how good they are, so they're gonna push it even harder and they're
Mm,
gonna ride for them because they're doing something different.
definitely.